Uh, Okay, yeah, so that's the image we generated. Okay, so we've got the, so as we've seen, I sent you the links earlier. We have a contract here. You have a contract here, which has currently got 2 tokens on. I've just minted another one. This is a contract índice de propiedades públicas. Vale, that's the name I made up for it, right? L prop as the token. We can see these 2 transactions, and you have this cello, right? They're really targeted at on the ground users in they're mobile first, right? So right, here's a token. You saw the other token earlier. So we've got the contract. We can change this. I can always mint a new contract. You see the transaction history. So the point of what we're doing. So this, when did we meet? Saturday. It's about midnight my time, right? So we drew up a document for on Saturday, right, which was the basic design. The idea is that Victor will is working on your code base here, so there's no messing around. We will, that's just what it says in this document, right? So we will, we've got this, I pulled the date from here. So basically the idea is you click in here, there'll be a button, right? That button will then, because using this, this ID here, so that button will then, right, connect through to the API that I put together on my backend on my tool chain, right? So I built on Saturday. I just put this together, and I've been in contact with Victor, right? Like API endpoints, just a landing page for the API. So we're api.delnorte.com, right? So we've got blah blah blah. So I built this out. So the idea is, right, it's pretty simple. It's easy because everyone gets to work on their own tool chain, no messing around, and it's not complicated, right? So I'll click on here. There's a button. That button literally will make a request here of the API is written in here, right? So we've got mint status, right? So property by ID mint status, has it been minted or not, basically, and that will change what the button then looks like, right? So like already minted, and then maybe links, yeah, to the blockchain explorer that we've just seen, yeah, this to this thing. Sorry, I moved really quickly. I forget that people have to track it. So you've got the button, and then if it hasn't been minted already, then obviously there's another endpoint which is mint property to blockchain, right? You call that, and that will cause the mint process to go, and the API will maintain communication, so that this button can update, and when things been minted, it can change to links and all that kind of stuff, right? So that's what is wanted. So what I have then done, so that's good, right? And we're there. So there's two. What I have then done in order to ensure that all of this is working is to I built an administration sort of test bed for the API, right, for all the blockchain token, for the contract minting, the token stuff. All of that has backend UI that I've built, right, and then so this stuff has been put together since I guess yesterday. Well, in the last, I guess it's 16 hours. Right, so along with the actual blockchain, so I've done all the blockchain stuff, and then what I've built here is you can see the right. These are the two. These are the two that have been minted. They're in the same order as on here, right? They're in date created order. This date here, right? So right, so we've got these two contracts are minted. You can see they're open. We've got right just the data. This is the data that's being stored in the API, right? So the mint status, the token ID, right? The metadata that's up there. The image is just drawn from here, and then you've got this button, right? This is exactly right. This is exactly what we're going to be doing here, right? So we know that all the data is there, and we know that it works because because it works. So yeah, here's a link to that one. Right, we've got here's a link to that one. It's so nice having pictures, right? Nice showing that, great. So let's but right, so then we've got this the other part of the API is keeping people updated. I'm just going to use the same image as before. So this will probably look up, obviously there's an imager in this data already, this Earl here, and perhaps we'll use that. So this is just a thingy. So now we have, now that this image actually loads, we've got a mint token button. I'm going to click it, see what happens. Right, okay, so this is the point of this stuff here. So this is the logging output, and this is, right, so the API at the other end. So this end where the button is able to have how much granularity we want at that end, right, is able to get, right, a continuous, not just a spinner, we've got a continuous updating, because sometimes this can take time. Celo is very fast, so it's the nodes react very quickly, and your block time is about 5 seconds, usually for block confirmation is about 5 seconds. It's about $0.0001 per transaction. Right, so the point is each one of these is just a phase in the process of minting a new token onto the blockchain. Right, so that's finished, right? It says it's finished anyway. Let's just reload this and see. So now this says it's minted, right? So again, this is exactly what we're looking for here. So the data's there. We've got, right, this is the token ID, transaction hash of we can just grab this and have a look at it, right? The metadata that was put up there, the full address. I've just put in some simple stuff. I haven't put in any personal data, obviously, because it's actually on the blockchain. I've put in our unique ID just because it's interesting, barrio, blah, blah, blah. So what am I saying? I'm trying to look up where is it here? So we can look up the transaction for that token, right? 2 minutes ago. Índice de propiedades públicas, LPROP token 3. And we've got the token with the same image. I could have just generated another one, but I didn't. And then, yeah, I mean, that's where, yeah, right. So you've got this page, the metadata page, right? The contents of the metadata, the image, right? Token ID 3. So now in the contract, we should have, right, there's 3 tokens have now been minted. I don't know what happened to token number 1. It just got jumped over because I've been testing. It never got minted. Nothing weird. It just never got minted. So that's that, right? Yeah. So, right. So then what I can just do, I can work with Victor, and we can just ensure that we're pushing that out through to the UI, and we know that everything works. We know that all the data we need is available, right? Good. Yeah, that's good. That's very good.